Humbug!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to That Wrestling Show, the only podcast where all pro wrestling matters. Hope you guys enjoyed your holiday break. We're into the Christmas season, and here, as always, so joyful, is our jolly fat man, Fro. How you doing, Fro?
I'm doing fine.
So this week, we're just gonna have we're gonna have an open door week this week because there's no major topic to discuss. So it's just gonna be an open house this week. That's really the best way I can say it. It is an open house this week on That Wrestling Show, and we're gonna have a couple of surprises. Or at least I will, because Fro doesn't know about any of these surprises.
I know nothing. I know nothing.
Yeah, he really doesn't. And we're gonna tell you one of them at the end of this week's show. So that's how fun this is. So let's get into the news, and we're gonna start with some good news, Fro, because we try to get some good news put on here, and sometimes it just doesn't happen, but this week it does. Congratulations go out to Matt and Rebby Hardy, who now have their third child.
Wow.
Rebby had it's their third son. So she's raising 3 sons. I know how my sister feels about that.
Right. I'm sure that's super fun.
And my God, Fro, the kid's got an somewhat ordinary name.
Wow.
It is Bartholomew Kit Hardy.
That's not too bad.
I actually like that name.
Yeah.
To be honest. I mean, I know I get on Rebby Sky time to time because of how she acts, which, in all honesty, I think she deserves.
Right.
But the fact that she's able to have had 3 kids and they've all been healthy boys, that's a good thing. That is a good thing. So I'm just happy.
Oh, definitely.
So, Bartholomew Kit, or as he's going to be called, Barty, Bartie. Yeah, that's not gonna get him beat up. Joins his 2 oldest brothers, Maxwell and Wolfgang.
I knew that Maxwell was called Maxwell because of Impact.
Well, I mean, Maxwell's got the greatest record in the history of professional wrestling.
He does, actually, yeah.
He's never been beat.
No, never.
I mean, he should be in the Hall of Fame this year.
In TNA Hall of Fame, then.
Well, you know what? Now you know what? That's true, because they never did announce anyone this year.
No.
Yeah, where's the vote for Maxwell? Where's the vote?
Where is it?
The other news is that Stacy Keibler is pregnant with her 3rd child.
Okay.
And for the record, you're welcome. No, it's not me. It's not me. I'm not the father. But no, congratulations to Stacy and her husband, what's his name, for having, for her being pregnant with their 3rd child.
That's a weird name. What's his name? Yeah. That has to be a French name, is it?
Yeah. I think like South French.
Yeah. What's his name? Yeah.
Yeah, what's his name? So, but no, congratulations to both families, in all seriousness. That's very good news to hear that they, have another addition to add to the, how many billion people in the world right now?
Too many.
Yeah, about that many. So, but no, congratulations to the both of them. Congratulations.
I was thinking about this. This is so not wrestling related, but I was thinking maybe atomic bomb is not a very bad idea. Just to get rid of half of the population of the Earth and just like start from the beginning.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I did not expect that coming.
I don't mean it,
I know you
but
don't. I know you don't.
it's a interesting idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just don't let
yeah.
any crazed psychopath hear that.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
Uh, Me and Luke, we were talking about sports on the
Yes.
podcast
Yes.
this week, and we said that one of the things that I find kind of interesting is that me and Luke, we watch one kind of sport.
A
We
year.
watch fake wrestling, and we also watch the Super Bowl once a year. Other than that, we really don't play sports.
Right.
And I asked him, "Do you think chess is a sport or a game?"
That's a good question. Um, I'm gonna say it like this, bro.
Mm,
I think it can be split in two ways.
okay,
I think it is a game, chess is,
right.
if you don't frequently play it,
Hmm.
or if you do it leisurely. But it can also be a sport. Bobby Fischer is the perfect example.
Right,
Because,
or Magnus Carlsen,
right,
the champion right now. Yeah.
I mean, Bobby Fischer, pretty much here in the United States, put chess to the forefront.
Hmm.
And then he decided to go batshit crazy.
Yes,
So I think it could go to. I think it could go either way. To be honest.
because I have a strange feeling that a lot of people don't look upon chess as a game or as a sport. I look at on it as a sport. We were talking about this because of the Olympics, and we said that there will be two new sports in the Olympics, right? This 2020,
Mm-hmm.
rock climbing and skateboarding are the two new sports in Tokyo. And I find it interesting to look upon what is a sport like synchronous swimming
Synchronized swimming.
yes, or synchronized diving. Is that a sport?
Well, I mean, you are swimming in water.
Yes.
I would think it is.
Yeah. It is an interesting topic though, because like what you define as a sport and not define as a sport is like so interesting because when I talk to people that when I talk to people that don't know what wrestling really is,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it's like, oh, I watch wrestling, I say, and they're like, oh, they think it's like the Olympic part of wrestling, and you don't call that professional wrestling. You call that wrestling because professional wrestling in people's mind is WWE or AEW.
Right.
All right.
I mean,
It's so weird.
if you think about it, and I'll use this as a perfect example.
Mm,
About the last 15 to 20 years, poker has gotten a lot of TV time,
right.
especially on ESPN,
Yeah.
because they air the World Series of Poker every year.
Right. Perfect example. Very
So
good example.
I I think anything could be a sport. I'm not saying anything can, because there are
Right.
some that aren't a sport. Like if you play Risk, the game, the board game Risk, that's not a
Right.
sport. If you
Right.
play Life, the board game Life, that's
Right.
not a sport. Twister, you could make a case could be a sport.
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think what to me qualifies it to be a sport, and actually, this is a hell of a topic. Thank you for bringing this up,
Mm-hmm.
Fro. I think you have to use. It's either you have to use your brain, and not either. You have to use your brain, and you have to use other body parts.
But then again, could you could you make a case for WWE or AEW being a sport? Because,
Yes,
like I said, it is more or less it's violent ballet.
but it is physical contact
Right.
where they're trying to beat the other person.
Right.
So I will always say professional wrestling, and I'm going to use Jim Cornette's words. I know Jim Cornette's probably not a popular thing to say, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Hmm.
Professional wrestling is an entertaining sport. It's
Hmm.
to me, I never will accept the term sports entertainment. I will never
Right.
accept that. I can more than accept entertaining sport.
Hmm. Yeah, because I like for people that don't know what it is, I usually say it's very violent ballet with storylines. That's more or less what it is.
All right,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Like, yeah, it's in-house moves, violent ballet with storylines. So yeah, no, I do, I think, and it is also interesting to think about how much of it is real in WWE, according to NXT and AEW, and how much is storylines in those companies.
Mm-hmm.
And is there a difference? Is there a difference in how they look upon the way they approach the wrestling um, storylines?
Who knows?
Yeah.
You know what? Let's stick with sort of being in wrestling, but not really in wrestling for a minute,
Hmm.
because someone is about to receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Can
And,
I guess too?
and well, let me just say this. If you get it right, I'll be
Hmm.
very surprised. If you don't get it, and when I say the name, you will think to yourself, wow, I thought he already had a star.
I'm going to say The Rock.
No, but that's a good guess.
Baptista.
Another good guess, but no.
Hulk Hogan?
Think celebrity that has been in wrestling.
Hmm. Well, Donald Trump is not going to get
Well, he
it.
already has one.
Yes. No, I have no clue.
Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman is getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And you would think, we've lost Fro. We have lost Fro. Oh boy. He's been having one of those days today, folks. One of those days.
Rick Fro.
You there, Fro? Nope, he's not. It is Andy Kaufman who is getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah, I'm super surprised that he is not already has a star, to be
I
honest.
know, right?
Yeah.
I thought he would. I thought he
Yeah.
already had one.
Hmm.
But congratulations to Andy Kaufman and the Kaufman family for.
So who's going to do it for him? His wife, or she's still alive?
Yeah, she's still alive. She's very much still alive.
Okay.
Um,
So is Andy Kaufman, according to many people, by the way.
right, right. This is for the class of 2020.
Okay.
So when is now? I would think Jerry Lawler will be there.
Oh yeah.
I really would think that.
Oh, that reminds me. You should see that Netflix documentary with Jim Carrey about when he plays Kaufman.
I've thought about that. I
Oh, it's so good. And how him and Jimmy Lawler were so not friends under the filming of that
Oh yeah,
movie.
I've heard that. I have
Yeah,
heard that.
Jim Carrey like heated his guts.
Oh yeah, it was it was pretty bad from what I've heard.
Yeah.
So, you know what we're gonna do right now is we are gonna do some voting. You and I, we are gonna work together
Okay.
on voting because on NXT this week they announced their year-end award nominees. And what you can do, there's two ways to vote. You can vote either on Twitter using the hashtag of the category and the nominee, or what Fro and I are about to do, and I'll be the one that controls it, we will be voting on WWE.com. So,
Yes.
are you ready, Fro?
Yes.
All right. Our first one, the NXT Female Competitor of the Year.
Okay.
The nominees are Io Shirai, Shayna Baszler, Rhea Ripley, Kaylee Ray, Toni Storm, Bianca Belair.
For me, it's Io Shirai.
Oh man, this is tough actually.
Yeah. It's everyone.
The next category is the Male Competitor of the Year.
Well, I'm going to tell you now, before you tell me the nominee. If my man isn't there, I'm going to be very, very angry.
The nominees are Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Velveteen Dream,
Good.
Adam Cole, Walter, and Tyler Bate.
Yeah, I need to go with my man Velveteen.
I don't know. I think I got to override you on this one. I think Adam Cole deserves it.
Adam Cole, baby.
I mean, he's had an incredible year. An incredible year.
I just love Velveteen Dream. He's my favorite wrestler.
Oh, I know. Next category is the overall competitor of the year, which is all 12 people that we have just mentioned. I am not.
I would actually give that to Walter.
Okay. I did not expect that, so I will go with Walter on that one.
I think so, because he's been so dominant.
Yeah. Next category, the NXT Tag Team of the Year.
Ooh.
Undisputed Era,
Mm-hmm.
Street Profits, the Grizzled Young Veterans, Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster, and the Viking Raiders.
I have to go with Undisputed.
Yeah, I do too.
Mm.
I do too. I gotta agree with you on that. What's our next category? Hold on, I'll get that. Next category is the NXT Takeover of the Year. So
Oh,
all of them are up, but let's just remind everyone what they are.
Jeeps.
We have Takeover Phoenix, UK Takeover Blackpool, Takeover New York, Takeover 25, Takeover Toronto, UK Takeover Cardiff, and Takeover War Games.
Wow.
Oh, man. See, my thing is, I want to go with the War Games, but I don't want to be a victim of the, recent memory equals a war game. The New York one was incredible.
I was just going to say that I think maybe the New York one was actually a little better.
Yeah, so we'll go with New York on that one. We'll submit our vote there. Okay, are you ready for the next one? This is always, I've said this before, this is always my favorite category. The NXT Match of the Year. And we've had some dandies, folks. We have the Women's War Games. Tyler Bate versus Walter for the UK title.
That was such a good game. Yeah.
Io Shirai and Shayna Baszler in a steel cage.
Oh, good one.
Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai. Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole, 2 out of 3 falls match. That was the 3 stages of Hell match. The Viking Raiders versus O'Reilly and Strong. Gargano and Cole, the 2 out of 3 falls match for the NXT title. That is from the New York one. Street Profits, Forgotten Sons, Undisputed Era, Lorcan and Birch, the ladder match from TakeOver 25. Pete Dunne versus Adam Cole from the Survivor Series. Keith Lee versus Dominic Dijakovic. Candice LeRae, Bianca Belair, Io Shirai, and Mia Yim. And the Grizzled Young Veterans versus Andrews and Webster versus Gallus from TakeOver Cardiff.
I have to go with the 3 stages of Hell match. It was so incredibly fun.
I've got to go with the first one with Gargano and Cole.
Yeah, wasn't that the one I said?
No, that was the one. The one that you said was the one that took place before SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the one that took place before WrestleMania. Although, to be fair, you could have put all 3 of them on there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Rivalry of the Year for NXT. The nominees are Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole, Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai,
No.
Rhea Ripley versus Shayna Baszler,
No.
British Strong Style versus Imperium,
No.
and the Velveteen Dream versus Roderick Strong.
Yeah, no, I have to go with the first one.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty no-brainer on that one.
Yeah. It's been a storyline all year, so...
Yep. Next category, Breakout Star of the Year.
Ooh.
The nominees
Is Walter
are...
there? I hope he is.
The nominees are Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic, Matt Riddle, Candice LeRae, Damian Priest, Angel Garza, Rhea Ripley, Joe Coffey, Piper Niven.
Rhea Ripley, then.
Yeah, you know what? I'll agree with you on that. I was leaning towards Keith Lee. I think Lee's going to win that award, but
he's a little too early, maybe, to win it.
For breakout star,
yeah, maybe.
And the final category, the future star of NXT for 2019. The nominees are Cameron Grimes, Kushida, Isaiah Swerve Scott, former guest on this, or former interviewer, or person that I interviewed in the past. Tegan Knox, Dakota Kai, Zia Lee, Tainara Conti, Bronson Reed, and Ilja Dragunov.
I have to go with Tegan Knox.
All right, I'm going to go with Tegan Knox as well.
Yeah.
They will announce the winners on New Year's Day. They're going to have a special NXT. They're not going to have them wrestle, I believe, but they're going to have a special show where they announce the winners.
Right.
And speaking of awards, let's talk about that wrestling award. You guys can still vote. You have well over a week to put in your nominees for all the categories that we have. Wrestler of the Year, Woman of the Year, Tag Team of the Year, Match of the Year. Basically, all the categories are there. Fro, I know you're not on Facebook, but I'm going to send you the ballot. And
Good.
one thing that I do encourage everyone to do is you can nominate more than one person or event or match or whatever. I always encourage that. So when you do this, please remember that. And hopefully if we get enough people to vote, I'll be able to announce the nominees real soon. Other than that, I'm not really sure. Let's talk about The Masked Singer, Fro.
Yeah. Interesting week.
Yeah, very interesting week because, well, Joel McHale was on. That's number one. But number two, we had an interesting SmackDown.
Yeah, I am super surprised by this. Will you go through it for me because I don't have it in front of me?
Okay, let me take a quick drink.
Sippy, sippy.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So this week, we had Thingamajig, Fox, Tree, and Butterfly. Mm-hmm. Our first battle was between the Butterfly and the Fox. The Butterfly sang Sorry Not Sorry by Demi Lovato, and the Fox sang Tennessee Whiskey by Chris Stapleton. Both were good performances, but in the end, Fox was the one that came out on top. So
I was not surprised by that at all. I thought the Fox did better than the Butterfly.
Yeah. Then our other contest was Thingamajig against Tree. Thingamajig performed Haven't Met You Yet by Michael Bublé. So we all now know Michael Bublé has songs that don't relate to Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And Tree sang Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
And in an upset, Tree defeated Thingamajig.
Yeah, what the literal?
Well, here's my thinking.
Ice cream happened there.
Here's my thinking.
Yeah.
I've said this in the past, and I'll say it again. You got to pick the right song to sing.
Yeah.
Because if you pick the wrong song, it's going to cost you.
Yeah.
I believe, and this is just my opinion, Thingamajig got a little bit cocky, got a little bit arrogant, thinking, okay, I'm on a roll. I got Nicole Scherzinger on my side.
Right.
I could sing any song, and I'm going to win. But Tree belted out that song.
Oh, yeah. No, she definitely did. I thought it would be Tree versus Butterfly in the SmackDown.
So we ended up with the Butterfly and the Thingamajig in the SmackDown. Butterfly sang Believer by Imagine Dragons. And Thingamajig made up for his poor first performance with Caught Up by Usher.
That was so good.
I have to imagine the voting was very, very close. I really do. It was the judges' vote. And Thingamajig stays alive in the competition. And the Butterfly was revealed, and it happened to be Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child.
I was happy I was right again. Yeah.
I had no idea, so I would have been fine with whoever it was.
But
So
yeah, it became even more obvious that it was Brady, that is the Fox. Still don't know who the tree is, and it
I
annoys
don't
me.
know. After this week, I have no idea.
And yeah, we know that Thingamajig is that basketball player that I never remembered the name of.
So next week, Fro, we're gonna get 2 episodes of The Masked Singer. We are getting a special Tuesday episode, and then followed by a Wednesday episode, where on Wednesday 2 masks will be taken off. So we're gonna cut the competition in half from 6 to 3 by this time next week.
Yeah, it's pretty. Now it's really going fast.
So we are down to, for those who trying to put everything together, flamingo, leopard, Rottweiler, fox, thingamajig, and tree.
Yeah, and I still say it's either flamingo and or thingamajig that wins.
All right. So actually, that's a good question, or good segue, because I was going to ask you, who do you think will be the 3 that are eliminated? So you said flamingo and thingamajig will be at the end. Who's your third pick?
Wow, that's a hard one. I think I would pick fox.
Yeah. I don't see the Rottweiler making it next week.
No, I think he will. I actually think he will be the first eliminated next week.
I think the final 3 will be flamingo, fox, and after what I saw this week, I'm not as confident with thingamajig. I'm going to say leopard makes the final 3.
It would be funny if seal was in there. I mean, yeah, I guess it depends a little of like you said, song choices, and I think also he lost a little with like concentrating on Nicole as much as he did.
Yeah, I really do think that. That's what happened. So, but we'll have to wait and see how it all turns out next week. As we are in the final 6. Can I just say one thing real quick? Nicole Scherzinger is starting to become more and more annoying as I watch the show. She's like, "Oh, we love you! We love you!"
But I mean, John McHale in the 2 last shows have been such a blast to have on there. He should be there as a regular, and then they could cut out one of the others or just let him be there because he's so much fun in the episodes he's in.
Who knows? Maybe they'll make it a 5-person booth for next season.
Yeah, talking about reality shows, did you see that they fired the 2 female hosts for Americans Got Talent?
Yeah, I did. All I got from that was it was all because Jay Leno made a joke and he got away with it, and she said something, and it's like, oh, we gotta let you go.
Yep.
It's very
so
weird.
strange.
It is very strange.
Anyway, back to the what did I say? Ballet with violent ballet.
Violent ballet. Yeah. All right. We have interesting news to discuss because This came out of left field. Major League Wrestling, which we have talked about in the past, they have come to terms on the release of Teddy Hart.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I was trying to get some more info on the release. There's been nothing that I know of that would have caused the release.
Right.
I had read something. I can't confirm it or deny it, but it had something to do. And again, this is just going on speculation. I don't know if this is
Hearsay, yeah.
right. That he and another wrestler did something to a lady at a wrestling school.
Oh no.
And at one point, or actually, okay, here it is. I'm going to pull this up. Okay, I'm going to read a little bit of this. After being part of the company in its first iteration, the 39-year-old returned to MLW as part of their relaunch in 2017, alongside Davey Boy Smith Jr. and, or actually, here it is. I'll just read it right here. And Brian Pillman Jr. Teddy Hart held their tag team titles once and was also their middleweight champion for nearly a year before losing the title to Myron Reed in November.
Yeah.
Hart came under scrutiny in November after he and wrestler Chasen Rance, who that's not a good person right now,
right,
were mentioned in a now deleted but widely circulated Facebook post regarding the disappearance of Hart's ex-girlfriend, Samantha Fiddler. The former wrestling trainee has been missing since the fall of 2016. Hart denied the allegations on Twitter, saying he and Fiddler had gone their separate ways before she moved to Florida, where she was last seen. A main indie promotion severed ties with Hart shortly after the allegations were raised. While MLW kept him on the roster, the middleweight title loss to Reed came less than a week after the Facebook post went viral. He did not appear at the TV tapings on Thursday night for Major League Wrestling. And that's a damn shame because he really was coming back on his own. Like he was...
you told me about him, and I was shocked to. I'm surprised by this news because I thought he would be somebody that followed in his family footsteps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just thought, he would have. I guess.
I mean, if he's done something stupid like this, he should be fired. So,
but we just don't know what happened. That's the big thing. That's the big thing right there.
Who owns MLB?
MLW. Court Bauer does.
Okay.
He used to work in WWE for a little while, so he's got a pretty good mind for wrestling. Okay, I have a surprise for everyone. This is the first of our two surprises. Fro, we did this on our South Park podcast, discussing the latest episode. Cheap plug. We'll plug it again later. Yesterday, I got an email from Spotify, which is one of the many places that you can listen to that wrestling show. And I think they did this for everyone that is with Spotify, like listens to their music and podcasts and all that stuff. They gave the numbers out. So, are you ready to hear our numbers?
Yay!
All right, let's get into it. So, we're going to begin with our most heard list, or our standout episodes. That's what they call them. 2 of them, Fro, are episodes you're not on. They were both eliminated of Royal Rumble podcast episodes.
Maybe I should take a hint. Yeah.
2001 was number 1, followed by 2000. Episode 395 made the top 3. What was the title of episode 395? I gotta go back real quick because honestly, folks, and part of me, it's not me not caring. It's just with some of that stuff, I don't have a good memory.
Yeah.
Episode 395 was a title change at a wedding. Oh, that was where we discussed R-Truth winning the 24/7 title at
Oh yeah, that's right.
Drake Maverick's
Yeah.
wedding. Okay,
Yes.
yeah, okay, I remember that now. Yeah, that was a good episode. Okay, I'll go with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now this next thing that we're going to do, or next thing I'm going to mention, this is absolutely fascinating. I read this to my mom yesterday, and she was very excited. Since last year, and this is for our Spotify listeners, and I thank you very, very much for listening on Spotify. Our listeners have gone up 66%.
Nice.
Our streams have gone up 333%.
Wow.
Our followers have gone up 400%.
Nice.
And the big one, our hours went up over 999%.
Wow.
Since last year.
That's something.
We're only heard in 2 countries on Spotify, so thank you to everyone in the United States and the United Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
However, our audience in the United States grew 33% since last year.
Nice.
So, thank you very much to everyone who listens on Spotify. For giving us an amazing year for that wrestling show.
Yeah, and if you listen to a lot of shows that I'm not on, I will take a hint. So just stop listening to episodes I'm on.
All right. Now, Fro.
I'm so hurt, Bill.
I know. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, you were on the number 3 heard episode of 2019, so
True.
Okay, so Fro, he didn't get a chance to watch much wrestling this week.
No, I'm in the cuckoo bin.
I did.
As I call it, the cuckoo bin.
I gotta admit, it was a bit of a tough choice this week.
Okay.
Because Raw had some decent moments this week.
Yeah, I saw the recap. Yeah.
The Lana, Rusev, Lashley segment was great. I loved that. That was fantastic. I never thought I'd like one of those segments, but I did.
Right.
Kevin Owens was good. Samoa Joe on commentary is great. I think once he retires, he's got a future as a commentator.
Who is he replacing, by the way?
Well, Dio Madden right now, I've heard, is going back to being trained in the ring.
Oh.
So, that's why he's there. NWA was good because it was their last show before their pay-per-view, which is next Saturday.
Oh yeah, I really want to see that.
They did a good job of hyping the pay-per-view, especially the main event. But they also had a fun World Tag Team title match. Wasn't great, but it was a fun match. But in the end, I've got to give it to AEW for this week.
Nice.
They had one of the best shows they have had since they've started.
Mm.
They had a fantastic 6-man tag team match to start off. It was the Young Bucks and Dustin Rhodes against Sammy Guevara, Santana, and Ortiz in a fun 6-man tag match. Trent against Rey Fenix was a fun match as well. Cody Rhodes had a fantastic segment, a fantastic interview segment where he basically, because MJF basically said, I am never going to wrestle Cody ever. So Cody was like, what will it take you to face me? What will it take you? I'll give you my shoes. I'll give you this watch, which is the most expensive thing I'm wearing on me, and it was given to me by Tony Khan. I'll give you the keys to my car. I'll give you over $50,000 in cash. I will give you whatever. Just name your price. Name it. So that's a very good storyline. I'm looking forward to see where that goes. Then we had another great talk segment because we also had Nyla Rose against Leva Bates, and they showcased Nyla Rose as this beast, and she ends up after the match beating up the referee and a wrestler, and storyline wise, she is suspended for the rest of the year. So Jericho comes out with Jake Hager, and first off, they talk about his wine that we talked about last week. A little bit of the bubbly. It has sold they've sold 12,000 bottles in a week.
Wow.
In a week. Then he talked about how AEW management said that Chris Jericho has to make one more title defense for this calendar year. And he introduced us to something new. It's not a list, bro. Oh no. The list is 2016. It is the Lexicon of Les Champions. And let me see if I can find the whole list, because I'm going to read to you who basically this list is of people that he will not wrestle for his last match of 2019. Hold on, let me see if I can find. I want to read this. I'm not going to get all of it, so.
How was NXT?
It was good. They focused. Well, both shows sort of focused on their last show of the year, which I'll get to in a moment.
Right. Yeah.
But here are some of the people that Chris Jericho will not face. He will not face Cody Rhodes, Moxley, Kenny Omega, Hangman Page, Kenny from South Park, Alan Jones. He will not face the band, the Scorpions. And then out comes Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Marco Stunt. And Jericho finishes by saying that he will not face dinosaurs or small people that are adults, meaning Marco Stunt.
Mm-hmm.
Which leaves Jungle Boy out. He's the only one left. So Jericho says that he's going to beat Jungle Boy and that Jungle Boy's not even going to last 10 minutes.
Wow.
And Jungle Boy says, I know I can last 10 minutes and I'm going to kick your ass. So we get this fight. It's very well done. Then we had another good match. Chris Statlander against Hikaru Shida. That was a good women's match, which led to a weird segment with Brandy Rhodes and Awesome Kong. They have a stable name now.
Okay.
They are the Nightmare Collective.
I like that.
It's a good name. I actually like the name.
Yeah.
And they tried to get Statlander to join, but a fan said that she wanted to take the pledge, so she went over and they started taking her hair off.
Oh, like someone else in CM Punk land, yes.
Yeah. Then we had Christopher Daniels and Pentagon Jr., which was a good match. And the main event was Joey Janela and Jon Moxley. All in all, it was a good show. And then with NXT, that was a good show as well. But I think NXT, both shows did this. They're setting up their last show of the year, December the 18th, because for those that may be curious, neither brand is doing a show on Christmas night.
Right.
Thank goodness. Because I think WWE and the USA Network learned from the terrible mistake 2-3 years ago of doing a live Monday Night Raw on Christmas night.
But how is the rating? Is it back to...
Actually, it was very, very close. Like the closest we've had to date. Let me pull it up. NXT had 845,000. AEW had 851,000.
Ooh, that is close.
6,000 was the difference.
Yeah, that's nothing.
That's very close.
Yeah.
So
we forgot it last week, so we should...
Well, hold on. Let me finish with both shows real quick, if you don't mind.
Okay.
So NXT for the 18th, Rhea Ripley and Shayna Baszler are going to face each other for the women's title. And there's going to be Adam Cole defending the NXT title against the winner of the triple threat match with Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, and Finn Balor. That match is next week, the triple threat match, to go to the 18th. For the Corpus Christi show, which is December 18th, it's Jericho and Jungle Boy for the title. But next week, they have the Young Bucks against Santana and Ortiz in a Texas street fight. So, All right. So what did we forget last week?
We forgot the ratings last week.
Oh, okay. Okay, I thought it was something completely different.
No. We just forgot to say.
Oh, no. Oh, you know why? Oh, now I remember. Because it was Thanksgiving week and they didn't do the ratings. NXT won last week.
Okay.
So after winning the last 2 weeks, AEW came back winning this week.
Good.
So, but you know what? The fact that this was the closest competition-wise, that's a good sign.
It is. Yeah. I like competition.
Yeah. We need healthy competition. Let's see if there's anything else. Okay,
I think it's time to get Fro into bed.
Yeah, why don't we do that? Because I was just going to talk about WrestleCon, but we can save that for another day. So let's get into the plugs, and then I will announce our other surprise.
Okay.
That Fro does not know of. I'm gonna be honest with you. Before I get into that, I was gonna tell you like a couple days ago, but then I was like, that's too short of a notice. I'll wait till we tell you on Friday.
I know nothing.
So if you have, folks, any questions or comments, send an email. WrestlingMan@thatWrestlingShow.com. Check out our Twitter. Follow us on Twitter @WrestlingShow11. Join the Facebook group, That Wrestling Show Fan Group. You type that in the search bar and you are right there. And if you can't find it, it's okay. I post a link in the description box and you just click on that and you're right there. Visit the website, thatWrestlingShow.com, and visit the Patreon page, patreon.com/Bill's World of Podcast. Fro, what did you guys discuss on Another Digital Citizen this week?
I want candy. I want candy. Yeah, we talked of our favorite and least favorite candies.
There we go. I think I told you off air last week, didn't I?
I think we actually did it on air.
Oh yeah, we did. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yes.
All right. Well, why don't I tell you about these other podcasts that you guys should check out? Check out Our Vantage Point, the Retro Wrestling Podcast with Joe Murata and Michael Quinn. They take you through the retro world of professional wrestling as only they can. This week, Mid-Card Appreciation is all about X-Pac. Plus, week 3 of the Royal Flush of the worst wrestling theme songs of all time. And you might be surprised at what song pops up on that list. Plus, they review an episode of NWA Worldwide from January 25th, 1986. That is Our Vantage Point. Also check out the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing, where Mike Crockett, a former independent referee, is joined by Brian Fury and Ring of Honor star Brian Malonis as they take you through the world of professional wrestling. This week, they discuss the best and worst wrestling factions. That's a pretty interesting topic right there. Check out the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing. And if you like your podcasts hosted by one individual, check out Greetings from Allentown with your host Peter Winson. He watches one episode of professional wrestling each week and describes it and talks about it in his own unique way. This week, he reviews an episode of NWA Pro from November 19th, 1988. That is NWA Pro.
One of the worst wrestling alliances, the three-man band.
Very funny. If you're looking for non-wrestling related podcasts, check out the Best Pick Movie Podcast with Tom, Jess. Crap, I messed that up. But, damn it, I was going so good on that. It's Tom, John, and Jess. That's who it is. They watch each Best Picture Academy Award winning movie in no particular order, and they discuss if the Academy got it right. Now, Fro, this week's episode is a very interesting episode because they discuss Braveheart.
Ooh. What else was that year?
Well, that was the year that Toy Story came out. Apollo 13. Sense and Sensibility. Babe. You know the talking pig?
Yes.
El Postino, the postman. Dead Man Walking, Leaving Las Vegas. Casino, Bridges of Madison County. Mr. Holland's Opus. Nixon. Rob Roy, 12 Monkeys.
Is this all nominees?
No, these are the movies that came out that year.
Oh, but I asked you.
But the nominees, besides Braveheart, were Apollo 13, Babe, The Postman, Sense and Sensibility.
Yeah, I think the Academy got it right.
I think the best movie is one that wasn't even on the list. I think it's Toy Story.
Toy Story should be there. I totally agree.
So check out the wonderful podcast, the Best Pick Movie Podcast. I hope if they're listening to this, I do apologize for botching that. Also check out Unspooled with Paul and Amy, where they take a look at each movie. They watch and discuss each movie on AFI's list of the 100 greatest movies of all time, the 2007 list. This week, and probably for the next few weeks, they're going to take some time off from that list because they're going to be doing a special mini-series on the best movies of the decade. So this is part 1. They will be talking about the movies from 2010 to 2012. Also, check out Sharks Pond, a South Park podcast. Fro and I, we are right now going through season 23, and we discuss what we both felt was the best episode of the entire season, Basic Cable. Believe me, you guys are going to enjoy our review of Basic Cable.
It was good.
It really was. And this Sunday, the first of 2 special episodes of Eliminated, a Royal Rumble podcast, will be put up because Jim and I, we are going to discuss our current leaderboard of the most eliminations between Shawn Michaels, Kane, and The Undertaker. But we're going to also spin the wheel, Fro, because we're gonna pick future episodes of Eliminated, a Royal Rumble podcast to discuss. So that's going to be a fun little listen there. That is Eliminated, a Royal Rumble podcast. Okay, so Fro, I do believe we are one of the shows that if we're given a suggestion, we try our very best to do what our listeners ask us to do. I really think we do.
Mm-hmm.
So earlier this week, I got a message from a listener to the show, Nick Opolewski. I hope I pronounced your last name right. And he asked if we'd take requests. And yeah, I said, yeah, we do. So next week, Fro, you and I, this is sort of an early Christmas gift, or Hanukkah gift, or Kwanzaa gift to all of our listeners. You and I are going to review an episode of WWF Superstars from May 16th, 1992.
Oh.
Unfortunately, Fro, I tried to find a link for you on YouTube. I couldn't find it, so you're going to have to look for it on your own. But we do have a week.
Yes, and I know somebody that I can ask for a password to something.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to review that as sort of a special gift to all of you. Plus, we're going to preview not one pay-per-view, not 2 pay-per-views, but we're going to preview 3 pay-per-views next week. We're going to preview Final Battle, Ring of Honor's biggest pay-per-view of the year, which actually looks like a hell of a show.
It does.
We're going to preview NWA Into the Fire, which looks like a good show.
It does.
And we're going to preview WWE TLC, which, as of this recording, has no matches announced.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. We know nothing about.
We don't know a damn match.
No.
There's 9 days to the show. You know what? Can I just say something real quick? And I'm not trying to keep you up on purpose, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They should just get rid of the December pay-per-view.
Yes.
Make Survivor Series the last show of the year, last pay-per-view of the year.
I totally agree.
Just skip December. Just go right into the Royal Rumble.
I could not agree more.
But they'll never do it. So, on that note, everyone, thank you for listening. Have a good, safe, wonderful weekend. And when you're done doing whatever it is you love to do, come back here next week for another episode of That Wrestling Show, the only podcast where all pro wrestling matters. And as always,
Chess is sport.
wrestle on.